Hi everyone, my name is Joshua Johnson. I'm the Director of Academic Technology at Wisconsin Lutheran College, and this video is a short tutorial on how to upload a document or attach it to an assignment. You will see, again, I am in as an IDC student. That, in case you're wondering, IDC means Instructional Design Center. I'm looking at the assignments that I have here, and I'm going to go ahead and point out that these icons usually tell you a little bit about the type of assignment. Like a forum post usually has this discussion icon with the two dialog boxes, whereas an assignment usually has this little hand collecting a piece of paper. The other icons in here we'll talk about in other things, but that does not mean all assignments are going to look like that. It really depends on the nature of the assignment and what you're being asked to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Test Assignment 3 because this is one where I'm going to turn in, let's imagine that this is a paper or something that I need to attach. So you'll notice right away when I jump in here, it gives me a description of the assignment. This one just says this is the description. A lot of times there'll be directions that the instructor might have for you. And whether or not I've submitted it, whether or not it's been graded yet, when it is due, and how many days I had before. Now, I'll point out that, and I do this a lot of times instructors will forget to change the date on the assignment, so it may be like a year overdue if that was the last time they taught the class, and that's not unusual for that to happen. So always contact your instructor if you're concerned about the due date. Otherwise, to add a submission, I'm just going to click the Add Submission box. And there's really two types of submissions that are available in this assignment. And they're not always both turned on. It depends on what your instructor is asking for. One type of submission is an online text. For example, they may ask you just to write a short paragraph and have you do it right in here. The other type of submission is a file submission. One of the things that I typically do and find is that if I'm supposed to attach something like a Google document, leaving the online text open is good for that. Sometimes I will have people submit a file, but I leave the online text open so that they can answer or ask a question or make a comment about the file they're uploading. But the online text is really pretty straightforward. I can just write whatever I want. And then I can put links to other sites and pictures and video and all kinds of stuff in there. But the most common is the file, and you're going to find it's the exact same as we did when we were adding our picture to our profile. So I can add basically make a folder of files, or typically it's just adding one file. In fact, most of the times the instructors have this turned on so that you're only allowed to make one submission. You'll notice over here, here's the maximum file size listed as 20 megabytes, and the maximum number of attachments is 3. So I could make 3 attachments to here. So I could go through the upload a file and then choose a file and then say I am looking for, let me just jump into my PDFs here. Like, oh, here I want to upload this PDF of a file or a Word document, whatever it happens to be, and upload the file that way. Another way to do the same thing is to go to that folder first and say, let's see, let me go to my PDF file and say I want one of these files and drag it over and drop it in there. So that's the two ways that I can upload a file, and then when I'm done I can hit the Save Changes. It'll take me back, this is that screen I saw before. Now you'll notice the submission status says submitted for grading. I'm also able to go back and edit it if I need to delete and say, oh, I didn't mean to attach one of those files. I can come in here and delete that file and replace it. So there's a number of options for you to do that. But that is how to attach a file to an assignment. And remember, the typical assignment usually has the hand with the receiving of paper or a document.